to, you know, put it out there and have people question things. Even if you don't agree with it, hopefully it raised some questions and you'll go and look them up yourself and do some of your own research. And I think there is renewed interest in the political system here now since the last election.
Right back there. My impression of Lawrence Wilkerson, who I think is a very courageous American and citizen, was that he was acting with the blessing of Colin Powell. I would place Colin Powell in that group of 10 because he was knowingly involved in the authorization of these these torture techniques. I think Powell was aware, and in a way, he'd like to speak out. He'd like to tell the truth, but he's hidebound or hasn't got the balls. I don't know why he hasn't spoken out. You mean the hubris that led them to act in this way? Well, I think that power is a wonderful fuel of hubris, and power corrupts, and American imperial power corrupts absolutely. And that's one of the, if you're sitting in the situation room and you've got this possibility, the forces at your disposal, I think it'd be hard for most individuals in this room to resist it. All our moral values would be challenged. So I think it's hard to, you know, literature's often explored the corrupting power of power, and there's a Lady Macbeth quality in this character, although it's not quite such a big journey, but power leads to hubris. And that's what the film's about. It's really just about power. I'm proud to be an American. I am. I do have my British citizenship, so I can always fall back on that. But I believe in the American dream. America's been amazingly generous to me, and I have an enormous amount of friends who are American, and I believe in the principles of hard work and honesty, and many of the principles in the Constitution. So this is partly there is to uphold a lot of the Constitution, which has been perverted and trampled on, and which people don't seem to see how important it is, and it can affect individuals, students. You know, it's about to affect the whole Khalid Sheikh Mohammed trial is going to be a complete farce when it turns out that all of the evidence that came from him was extracted under torture and is therefore inadmissible. If the rule of law collapses, how do we maintain a civilized society? So
Well, I can say that I asked him the same question when when he became a citizen, and I think my role also was to question some of the things that we were claiming, and every accusation is backed up by 2 sources at least. That was one thing, and I think that Sebastion is proud to be here, and he's also that's part of why he's made this film. I think it's to make this a better country also.
Gentleman in the back. There you go.
The film just barely touched on the fact that wasn't it largely Cheney's attorneys who developed all these justifications for torture and so on? And I wonder what Condoleezza Rice's relationship to those attorneys was. Did she have regular communication with them? Was that strictly a Cheney? I think one valuable thing of an investigation is that this information would have to come out. That was very hard to get hold of. There's a huge amount of evidence tampering and destruction that's gone on. Many of the videotapes of these tortures were destroyed by the CIA under orders presumably from Rice, because under the principle of command responsibility. But the relationship between David Annington and Rice, I have a feeling that she just sort of let Cheney get hold of all of those totally absurd legal justifications, and then she used them for her own benefit in order to justify the thesis that she wanted to put forward, that these were not torture techniques, they were enhanced interrogation techniques. So she used them. I don't know how proactive she was in telling the lawyers, come up with this particular thesis. I need you to use sophistry in order to come up with the thesis we need. I don't know that, but I'd love an investigation to reveal those memos.
Right over here.
We don't have theatrical distribution. Theatrical distribution for documentaries is such a tough business at the moment. 0.001% of the documentaries being made are now getting into cinemas. So we need this to get out. We could wait a year and a half looking for theatrical distribution. And a lot of theatrical distributors are terrified of the politically contentious nature of this. And we are revealing that Rice ordered fingernail extraction. That is not good for a certain amount of the shareholders, for Lowe's or so. The important thing is to get this message out, and that's why we're distributing this ourselves. And I want my filmmakers, who have all worked for free, to get paid. And they're not going to get paid if we use theatrical distributors who take 60% off the top and then put their weird expenses on the top, and no money goes to the people who have made these films and risked a great deal of their time and energy. So theatrical distribution be damned.
Sebastion, do you have like a website or Facebook or whatever that people can contact you?
Yeah, and that is something that if you could become a fan on our Facebook fan page, American Faust Facebook fan page, or we have a website, American